It's time for this week's episode of Brandon Sports Talk, featuring in-depth interviews from those who are trending in the world of athletics. And now, here's the host of Brandon Sports Talk, Brandon Pate.
Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege to interview the Oregon Ducks head baseball coach, Mark Wasikoski. How are you doing today?
Doing fine, Brandon. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you got started in your coaching career?
Well, I was played at Pepperdine University, and when I got done playing at Pepperdine, I still had some degree that I needed to finish, and so I was lucky enough to get a job with the guy that I played for, Andy Lopez, as basically his office worker. And so I worked around the office. I helped out our lead secretary, Stella, with any job around the office. And, when I could, I'd help out at the field, and really was low man on the totem pole, and just kind of went from there.
Can you talk about your playing career at Pepperdine University?
It was a lot of fun. We won a national championship in 1992, so that was the highlight of it. But great experiences, a lot of amazing times with people that have been really successful since they left Pepperdine, and it was just a lot of fun. Great group of guys, and I loved every minute of it.
What have you accomplished at Oregon Ducks as the head coach?
Well, so far I've only been here for a little bit more than a year now. Last year was that COVID shortened 15-game season, so didn't get a complete season to do a whole heck of a lot. I guess the only thing we're really trying to establish is the culture, what it takes to win a lot of games and get back into postseason play.
Can you talk about the culture that you're building right now for Oregon baseball?
Well, it's day to day, and so it's accumulation of what you do on a daily basis, everything being important, no detail being left to be considered to be a small detail, everything being of the same weight, regardless of how important or big or small you think they really are. They're all of the same weight, and trying to get that through to the team to where we value every single second we spend together.
Can you talk about your time as an assistant coach, moving on to the head coach of Oregon?
Assistant coach, you learn to serve. And so for a lot of years of my life, I was an assistant coach. I got a chance to work for two Hall of Fame head coaches, Andy Lopez, George Horton, 4 national championships between those two men. Also got a chance to work for a couple other head coaches that were outstanding as well and taught me a ton. John Bryan at Los Alamitos High School taught me a ton about baseball and mentality. And then I moved on from there and got a chance to work for Mark Hogan at Southeast Missouri State, another championship mindset guy that I've been really blessed to be able to have those guys in my life as people that I've been able to learn from.
What was your time like at Purdue?
It was awesome. Great experience, 3 years. I got a chance to get in there, I guess, and I guess you'd say cut my teeth as a head coach, but I got a chance to be able to work with a hungry group of guys that wanted to have success at an institution that it's just a great institution in the Big Ten Conference.
What was your time like at Florida?
Well, that's starting to get a little while ago for me, but the time at Florida was great. It was clearly SEC baseball, a lot of fun. Play against are either at home against.
Can you talk about what you've learned in your time, of course, at Florida?
At Florida?
Yes.
Well, the time at Florida, we learned a lot. I mean, I was young. I got a chance to learn from Andy Lopez and some greats in the league. Skip Bertman, although he's struggling with his health right now, was at the top of his game when I was at the University of Florida. So got a chance to learn from Skip Bertman, amongst others. Rod Delmonico, when he was at the University of Tennessee, was there. Jim Wells at the University of Alabama was there. Ray Tanner was at South Carolina, and so there were some really great coaches floating around that league. Hal Baird at Auburn, really great coaches floating around the league at that time. And I got a chance to view them from the other dugout, and it was a lot of fun.
What have you learned whenever you were at Arizona?
I was there for 10 years. I got a chance to serve under Andy Lopez at the University of Arizona. Again, just different style of baseball. Now that you moved into the Pac-10, it wasn't the Pac-12 at the time, it was Pac-10, and got a chance to learn a little bit more of West Coast baseball. Again, reintroduced myself to that because I was a West Coast guy, and it was a lot of fun being out here. At that time, you had great coaches in the conference as well. You had Mike Gillespie at Southern Cal. You had Mark Marquis at Stanford University. Coach Esker was at Cal. Pat Murphy was up the road at Arizona State. So you got a chance to learn from a lot of other great coaches in the league as well.
Can you talk about your playing career in the MLB, getting drafted to the Milwaukee Brewers in 1993?
Yeah, I was the 35th round draft pick. The late Art Sherman drafted me for the Milwaukee Brewers. I never signed a professional contract. I was just drafted by Milwaukee, and I chose to become a coach instead of sign professionally.
That's wonderful. What was your time like being inducted into the Pepperdine Hall of Fame?
Well, I mean, it was awesome. In order to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, we had to do something special, and that was win a national championship as a team. And that was a lot of fun. So just being a part of a great institution, private school, place where they would have never thought you'd be able to win a national championship, and yet we accomplished that. So it was defying great odds.
Can you talk about the recruitment process in Oregon baseball and what that's like?
Well, it's every day, it's every day. Now it's on Zoom quite a bit, and there's a lot of digital stuff instead of being there in person like we had grown accustomed to in the earlier days of my career. This year's a little different. We've got the coronavirus. We're all digital. It's electronic. And so there's a lot more Zoom calls and a lot more stuff that you're watching on video as opposed to being in person.
What do you hope to implement in the official visit once you're able to have official visits?
Now, as many great players as we can get on campus.
Are you going to be able to let them try on the Oregon green jersey?
Well, we've got a lot of great jerseys, and yeah, when they come on visits, that's a part of the visit as well.
Can you talk about what you look for in high school athletics players looking to make it into college?
Yeah, that's a great question. Brandon, what we're looking for is we're looking for guys that are the best player on their high school team. We're looking for people that are great team players. We're looking for talented players, guys that are going to be pursued by major league scouts and have the option to be able to play big league baseball or minor league baseball and college baseball coming out of high school. So somebody that's talented enough to be able to do that, we're looking for, who has a great team mindset and wants to join an awesome institution like we have here at the University of Oregon.
What advice would you give upcoming high school athletes looking to make it into college?
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is you got to take care of your business in the classroom, or you don't have an opportunity on the field no matter how good you are. The second thing I'd recommend is always paying attention to your mother, your family, showing respect to those people, because without respect, you can really rub a college coach and people doing the recruiting the wrong way. And then the third thing is, I already hit on, be the best player on the high school team, where when we call coaches, we don't necessarily just travel ball coach it. We call your high school coach, and your high school coach should know quite a bit more about you maybe than your travel ball coach does. And being the best player on that high school team is really important thing.
What advice would you give upcoming college baseball players that are looking to make it into the professionals?
Well, I mean, they have to have the mindset that understands that, college baseball is one thing, and when you get into professional baseball, it's an entirely different clientele from top to bottom. You're going to have great players around you at the college level, but then those players, basically at the pro level, they're taking the best players from all of our teams and they're putting them onto one team. And so you got to not only strive to be the best on your college team, but you got to strive to be the best in the nation.
What advice would you give upcoming baseball coaches looking to make it into college coaching?
Well, for me, I think you got to really want to do it. You got to really want to invest long, hard hours in something where at times there could be feel like there's little payoff, but really it's more of a marathon. In college coaching, being a marathon, the payoff doesn't come right away. Usually, it's not an instant gratification business. It's got to be a business where people are diligent and they're appreciative of the fact that it could take a while to succeed at the levels that your heart and your goals have in mind.
Where can my listeners find, of course, Oregon baseball at and you at on social media?
Well, I mean, you can follow me on Twitter. You can go to our University of Oregon accounts page online. Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all that kind of stuff. Oregon baseball. Plenty of avenues to be able to access our program and find out more about.
Thank you again. Thank you again, Coach Mark, for your interview, and best of luck in this upcoming season.
Sounds great, Brandon. Thanks to you, and all the luck in the world to you.
You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Facebook at Brandon Sports Talk, Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Coach Mark, for your interview, and best of luck.
Same to you. Bye.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.